Welcome back to Stooge Stream for another episode. It is another toy unboxing. My toy room is overflowing. The Stooge has no more room, so I need to unbox some stuff because toys out of the boxes take up a lot less room than toys in the boxes. Now, if you watched a few previous episodes ago, I promised at one stage we'd be looking at some knockoff Transformers. So we're going to look at Machine Boy, Alterationman, Commanders. They're both called Commander. But clearly this is a KO Powerglide and this is a KO Megatron. These are really cheap. Obviously they arrived banged up to crap because they had zero protection in the boxes, but this cost me $3.75 and this cost me $6.50. That's in Australian dollars, so if you're in the US, that's about 40. You can take about 40% off that. If you're in the UK, about 50% off. Canada's about the same. That included free shipping. You can find these on eBay. Again, very, very cheap. But they look kind of cool. Now, of course, they don't have any stickers on them, so you don't see any Autobot or Decepticon logos anywhere. There is one thing in particular I liked about this one. It fixes something. If you have a look, Megatron has his G2 tank mode, but it's not green and purple and hyper-colored and 90s crap. It's his classic silver and grey. So we're going to unpackage these, see what we get in the boxes. But before we do that, we're going to go to the world's most awkward jump cut. And like magic, there they are, Powerglide and Megatron. Now, first thing I'm going to note is these aren't as cheap as I thought they were going to be. Like, I thought these would be really loose and jangly. What you're hearing is the wheels in the back actually moving. That's not the figures. It's pretty solid. Like, not bad. Like, yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Powerglide's even better. Pretty impressive. For, again, how cheap these were. This was literally $3.75. The plastic isn't bad. The joints are pretty nice. We'll go over them in a little bit more detail. Let's have a look at how he moves. All right. Ooh, head moves. Nice. So the head has some articulation, just left and right, no up and down. Arms on a hinge here. So that can do a full 360 on like a little ball peg thing. Elbow joint. Yeah, it's all good. It's tight. It's nice. This isn't too loose, which you get in some Powerglide figures. Like these just drop down. Like, that's not too bad. Let's have a look at his. Does he have any? No hip movement. No hip movement. Alright. Let's see what. Okay. It's got plenty of leg movement. It's a little bit loose, but it's okay. Yeah. Does he have any ankle? Yeah, he's got a little bit of. Very little. Or is that the wing in the way? Yeah, no, just a tiny touch of movement there. Maybe that'll move more. It might just be stiff. Okay. All in all, it's pretty good. Pretty articulate. I mean, a lot more than $3.75 worth anyway. And Megatron, about the same. It's a little bit stiffer. Nice ball pegs, so you can move stuff around quite nicely. That's a little bit loose, but that's okay. Nice leg movement there. Oh, that's a bit stiff. No hip, again. And his head. The head does move, but it's incredibly stiff. There we go. It's probably just paint stiff. The detail. Let's have a look at his nice face mold. Like, the paint's not great. You can see the red barely on his eyes and stuff, but all in all, nice face mold. Again, this was $6. Nice chest, nice little red details under there. The paint isn't fantastic, but whatever. And we'll have a look at Powerglide. And the back. Back of him's a bit ugly. Admittedly, that's a bit ugly. And Powerglide. Stand up, Megatron. Nice, this is just all plastic. The eyes are painted. Eyes paint is actually much better on this one. Black paint there. All in all, it's just red plastic, red and grey. Cool. Alright, I will try and transform these and come back. So let's cut to that. Alright, it took a little bit of fiddling, but we finally got there. We have Megatron in his tank form. And Powerglide in his glider form. He's got underneath head syndrome. Alright, so transforming these things was an absolute pain in the ass. Now that's where the cheapness comes into them, and I will show you some examples. This doesn't clip together properly. That's the best you can get it. There's massive gaps in here. The fists are plainly obvious. The legs will just unclip with the slightest touch. They don't clip in. Like, it sounds like they clip in tightly, but they don't. You move the thing slightly and it just unclips. The only part that clips together nicely is this, but there's a massive gap. It's not cool. It's not cool. They look fine in robot mode, but that is not cool. Powerglide, on the other hand, isn't as bad. His transformation was a little bit better. It's a bit cleaner, you can see. There's not as many gaps and pieces. Underneath, see, same thing. It's not as bad. I think he's kind of clean, and he was a cheaper one, which is weird. It seems like a lot more work was put into it. I don't know what these gaps are for, though. They're just not necessary. Oh, wait, one of them's for clipping into the shoulder. Okay, that makes sense. But all in all, much cleaner. The only problem is the feet, which do actually move, and you need to bend down before connecting the legs, was so stiff it felt like I was going to break it, and it shouldn't be because they're on a little swivel hinge thing that you can see on both sides. So it really shouldn't be that stiff, and they're not painted, so it's not paint stiffness. Oh, there we go, clip that back in. But all in all, Powerglide's pretty nice. For $3.75, pretty happy with that. Alright, let me see if I can put them back into their robot form. And they're back to their robot forms, which look way, way better. So all in all, would I recommend these? Yeah, look, they're cheap knockoffs. They're not expensive. They don't even try to pretend to be the real thing. I mean, look at the packaging. Alterationman! They've got a couple of cool figures. Here are some of the other ones. You got Prime, Starscream, a decent looking Hot Rod in vehicle mode, but his robot mode looks dumb. Bumblebee. Some cool figures in the lot. And they did one thing that I have to congratulate Machine Boy, the toy company that makes these for. They fixed Generation 2 Megatron. They made him look cool again. So he looks like classic Megatron, but turns into a tank. I can't complain with that. What do you think of these knockoffs? I've got some more coming. They're King Toys commemorative edition knockoffs that look really good, but they're miniature seekers. So we got like Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker, and a couple of other new characters which they made up themselves, which is pretty cool. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you buy knockoffs? I don't mind them if you go in knowing that they are. I've got a knockoff set of Constructicons. I've got knockoff aerial bots. I've got knockoff protector bots. I know they're knockoffs. I never say that they're real. I go in with the understanding that these are fake, but they look cool, so I don't mind having them. What about you? Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, the Stooge, and don't forget, adventure, excitement. Stooge craves not these things. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.